Today I'm going to be reading Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time there lived a mother and her son. Her son was called Jack. One morning Jack's mother told him to take their cow to the market and sell her, for they had no money left. On his way back from the market, Jack met an old man who offered him 5 magic beans in exchange for the cow. The man said, "These beans will bring you great fortune." Trusting the promise, Jack handed over the cow and ran home with the 5 beans. When Jack's mother saw the beans, she was furious. "You foolish boy," she said. "You've traded our only cow for a handful of beans." In a fit of anger, she threw the beans out of the window, and Jack went to bed heartbroken and angry. When the sun rose the following morning, Jack looked out the window and gasped. Overnight, the beans had grown into a towering beanstalk that reached all the way to the clouds. Trembling with wonder, he began to climb the beanstalk, higher and higher, until he reached a strange kingdom in the sky. Jack found a big stone house, and he met the wife of a fearsome giant. "Please," Jack asked, "may I have a little food? I've climbed up this enormous beanstalk, and I'm ever so hungry." The kind woman gave Jack some bread and milk. Just as Jack was finishing his food, he heard the ground begin to shake. A giant was coming home. Jack darted behind the stove, and he heard a monstrous voice. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "Don't be silly," said his wife. "There's no boy here." The giant grumbled and sat down to eat. After his meal, he opened a sack bursting with gold coins, and then he fell asleep. Seizing his chance, Jack crept out, stole the sack of gold, and scrambled down the beanstalk. When he got home, his mother wept with joy. They could live well for a long, long time. Yet greed and curiosity soon got the better of him, and Jack climbed back up the beanstalk again. Once more, the giant's wife pitied him and gave him food. But before Jack could finish, the thunderous footsteps came again. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." Again, his wife soothed him, and he ate until he was full. But to Jack's amazement, the giant brought out a hen, and the hen laid a golden egg. When the giant fell asleep with a belly full of food, Jack snatched the egg and hurried down the beanstalk. His mother was delighted, but warned him do not climb again. However, days later, Jack's daring nature got the better of him. He climbed up to the castle in the clouds, and the giant's wife, though wary, gave him food again. But then he heard, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." That night, while the giant snored, Jack crept into his bedroom and saw a golden harp that played music by itself. He reached out, but suddenly the harp cried, "Somebody is stealing me!" The giant awoke with a roar and began to chase Jack down the beanstalk. As Jack's boots hit the ground, he shouted to his mother, "Bring me the axe!" He seized the axe and he swung it with all his might and chopped down the beanstalk. With nowhere to go, the giant stayed up in his castle in the clouds. From that day on, Jack and his mother lived in comfort and peace. Their hearts were full of gratitude, and Jack never stole from anyone again. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please do join me again for another classic tale.